he's part of the acclamation of the heroes that are fighting. We wanted to give him really powerful, sweeping, kingly gestures to imply that this guy is badass. Until he gets developing Blizzard Dota, we started with things we already had. Kerrigan was an ideal candidate. She appeared in Wings of Liberty, and she essentially already had every function we needed to start making heroes. We just simply adapted her by giving her more team color so she had a better read from the game view camera. We also started experimenting. The Dwarven Marauder is an ideal situation where we decided we could blend the Warcraft and the StarCraft universe into this character. The Marauder proportions are really close to Dwarven proportions, and by adding weapons, the spears on the back and the helmet, we got a really interesting character that we blended up. And we're definitely going to try experimenting in appropriate places with this more often. Nova is a key example of something the designers were really interested in because they wanted to see a ghost character. They had a lot of ghost abilities already implemented, and they said, we're going to use a ghost. And as artists, we asked if we could implement something a bit more visually pleasing than the standard ghost we have in the Terran army. And you'll see in some other slides, we would like to use iconic characters whenever possible, even if we're defining a hero by a basic role. Tassadar is kind of an ideal example of this. The initial build of Tassadar, he was a sentry, just a regular old robotic sentry. Not that cool to look at, and we definitely liked the Protoss vibe. We thought, it feels Protoss-like, so let's pick a better Protoss character to represent it. Luckily, we had Tassadar from Wings of Liberty, and all we had to do really was make a new crest on his back to kind of make him look more epic. So now we have a new hero, Uther. Uther was another hero that design had established early on that they wanted a healing class. They really wanted a healing-centric character, and through discussions, it seemed like the Paladin kit would be fitting best for him, and it's kind of appropriate that the first Paladin character in the Warcraft lore is also the first Paladin in StarCraft Dota, representing the healing classes. Arthas, on the other hand, was a different story. Arthas is awesome. Like, let's just put him in the game. That's what we said, and they had no idea what they were going to do. There was no design agenda for a Death Knight, but the art was there, and the art had a lot of potential. So, in a kind of backwards fashion, the art came first, and then design decided to make some really cool Death Knight-centric abilities to make Arthas work. Thrall, once again, shifts over where they had a shaman character type. They said, we want to use Bloodlust, we want to use Totems, we want to use Lightning Shield. Naturally, we decided, let's use our most well-known shaman character, and we picked Thrall. When we picked Thrall, though, we already had a character that was an orc, the Blade Master. And so we decided to make Thrall a bit more distinct and change his silhouette by mounting him on a Cyberwolf. The Cyberwolf and Thrall initially were the same thing. Thrall was just mounted on a wolf. He didn't move faster. There was no gameplay functionality behind him being on a wolf. This was interesting. It's a different physical read. It's a different silhouette. It's unique. Unfortunately, what we discovered, and we learned this lesson a long time ago as well, and it came back, is that when you create a character on a mount, you have to scale it down. It says the character on the mount has to have the same pathing footprint and take up the same area as a character on foot. The bummer is Thrall becomes very small. He doesn't look epic anymore. He doesn't look like a war chief. It doesn't feel like Thrall. Why should we use Thrall? We had this problem in Warcraft 3 as well. It essentially came back to haunt us, and we really had concerns about this. We wanted it to look epic. So we discussed with the designers and voiced these concerns. We asked if the mount system could be better integrated into the game. They had already had things they were talking about with the boots, and they decided, well, maybe we can take boots out of the game and we can make the mount an actual part of the game design. And that's kind of how it came around, is we wanted to see Thrall looking his best mounted, and we wanted the mount to have more significance. And this is kind of the best of both worlds, because now we have Thrall mounted up. The mount actually signifies the fact that he'll be moving faster and has a role. And plus we can dismount Thrall and he looks just as cool stomping around smashing heads. Finally, we have the D3 Witch Doctor. I was really excited to see this character get put in the game because this is the first time we've incorporated Diablo universe characters into Blizzard Dota. And this guy has a bit more of a subtle blending of universes. You can see he has a Troll Witch Doctor head as his familiar totem, as well as a Zergling skull on the back of his hip. We're really looking forward to mixing these universes more. There's a lot of potential here. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a character that we have in the works right now. It's a Goblin Tinker. The Goblin Tinker is going to be a construction-based hero. He's going to build all sorts of turrets and launch pads, stuff like that. His ultimate ability is his armor. He jumps inside of it and it becomes a Goblin-style marine suit. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're basically making a Goblin SCV, and we'll see how it plays out.